France is a popular tourist destination, especially for those who are looking for a romantic location, a place to explore and meet new people, or even just to relax on a beach. There's so much conversation around this beautiful country that sometimes tourists think they understand the French culture and the history behind the country without doing any research. This incredible country deserves more research before you travel there, so you can immerse yourself in the culture in a respectful and educated way. Planning a trip to France or simply want to know more about the country? Sit back and relax as we have today our top 10 interesting fun facts about France. Fact number 10. France is the world's most visited country. It might be time to brush up on your French language skills, because France is the place to be. According to the latest tourism figures, a whopping 89.3 million people visited the country in 2018, making it the most visited destination in the world. The country's capital, Paris, is also the third most visited city in the world, behind Bangkok and London. If you're looking for an escape from the hustle and bustle of life, you can find some peace and quiet in the countryside of France. In contrast, the cities are very busy and packed with tourists. Though 2020 has been a tough one for the travel industry, let's hope visitors return to their #1 spot as soon as it's safe to do so. Fact number 9. French love their cheese. To say the French love to eat cheese is a huge understatement. When you think of food in France, chances are you're thinking about wine, cheese, and croissants. While it may be called a stereotype in some circles, it really is the truth. France takes great pride in its high-quality cheeses, as well as the amount of variety they have to offer. In fact, France ranks in the top 10 countries for their amount of cheese consumption. More than 95% of the French population eats cheese. French cheeses have several defining characteristics, such as how long they age, the process of making the cheese, and how moldy they are. The dairy-munching nation produced around 1.7 million tons of cow's milk cheese in 2018 alone. There are also around 1,600 distinct types of French cheese to try, which are grouped into 8 categories. Fact number 8. The French army was the first to use camouflage. Now here's an interesting fact about France. The word camouflage actually comes from the French verb meaning to make up for the stage. This is because the French army was the first to create a dedicated camouflage unit in 1915. They hired artists to paint both their vehicles and their guns so that they would blend in with the environment around them. They did this by painting lines that would distract from the shape of the object. About a year after the French started camouflaging their equipment, other countries began doing the same thing. Each country had its own style of camouflage. Fact number 7. France has the most time zones in the world. Did you know that the United States has 6 time zones? From ocean to ocean, desert to desert, there is such a diverse range of landscapes and time zones in North America. It truly demonstrates how incredibly vast the country is. Or does it? France actually has 12 time zones. At first, that might sound shocking, but if you think about it, it's not that strange since the French have colonized a big part of the world. Within the French territory in Europe, only 1 time zone is being used, but accounting all areas outside Europe, it stretches over 12 different time zones. Fact number 6. Throwing or burning food is illegal. It's time to dazzle your recycling-loving friends with this fun fact about France. Back in 2016, a historical decision was made where France became the first country in the world to ban supermarkets and food stores from throwing away or burning unsold foods. Supermarkets in France are donating about 45,000 pounds of food annually that would have been thrown away if not donated. While some of the fruits and vegetables are deemed unable to be eaten, most of the food is distributed to families in need. France passed this law to help reduce hunger and prevent food waste. Why doesn't everyone do this? Fact number 5. France had a king that lasted only 20 minutes. Another interesting fact about France is that one of their kings, Louis Antoine to be exact, only held the throne for about 20 minutes. This is one of the shortest reigns of a monarch that there has ever been. The French king only enjoyed 20 minutes of royal fame after his father, Charles X, abdicated, leaving him to ascend the French throne in July 1830. After this brief period, Louis Antoine also abdicated in favor of his nephew, the Duke of Bordeaux. This makes him the joint shortest reigning monarch in history. Fact number 4. Turning baguette upside down is unlucky. The French believe that placing a baguette, or any type of bread, upside down on a table can cause bad luck. This legend dates all the way back to the Middle Ages and has never gone away. When an execution was scheduled in town, legend has it the executioner himself would not have time to pop to the bakery before work. The baker would therefore reserve his loaf by turning the bread upside down. Thus, turning a baguette on its head came to be associated with death and misfortune, and the superstition lives on. Fact Number 3. The French consume 11.2 billion glasses of wine per year. Of all the countries in the world, France consumes the second largest amount of wine. In total, the French consume approximately 25 million hectoliters per year. They are second to the United States, which consumes about 30 million hectoliters. The population's penchant for a glass, or two, of wine might have something to do with the fact that France is one of the world's biggest wine producers, creating some of the best varieties on Earth. Champagne, Burgundy, and Chablis, for instance, are all homegrown. Fact number 2. The world's oldest person was French. Jeanne Calment is still the oldest person ever to have walked the Earth, at least where there is proof. She died the 4th of August 1997 and became 122 years and 164 days old, which still today is enough for the world record as the oldest person. She lived through the opening of the Eiffel Tower in 1889, 2 world wars, and the invention of television, the modern motor car, and airplanes. Interestingly, life expectancy for women in France stood at 85.3 years in 2018 and 79.4 years for men. France also ranks 14th in the world for life expectancy, with men and women living on average until 83 years old. Fact number 1. You can marry a dead person in France. Yep, you heard it right. One rather shocking fact about France is that under French law, you can marry posthumously in exceptional cases. This is on the condition that you can prove that the deceased had the intention of marrying you while they were alive. The one who marries a dead person will not inherit, and the family of the deceased must approve the marriage as well. You must also receive permission from the French president. The most recent approved case was in 2017, when the partner of a gay policeman gunned down on Paris's Champs-Élysées by a jihadist was granted permission to marry his partner posthumously. And that is it for today's video. Whether you're living in France or just visiting, learning some facts about the country will help you get to know it better, not to mention impress your friends at your next trivia night. So, which of these facts surprised you the most? Share it in the comments below. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, District 10 TV, for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.